for her house, since in their village they don't have any store, and while returning it was completely dark, and now she is standing in the ruins. Do you all remember the story? Shall we continue? Yes. It is in the page number 114. In the last class we discussed that she is standing in the ruins. What is meaning of ruin? Ruin in the sense collapsed building, and there is lightning and thundering, both are happening simultaneously, and in one lightning she is able to recognize she is standing over there. Where is the collapsed building now? Collapsed building, I have told you, that is where the haunted hill is there. So she is standing there, and we are going to see how she is managing in that haunted hill. A sudden flash of lightning lit up the hill. The ruins stood out in a clear outline. Then all was dark again. Night had fallen. So she is standing in the ruins, and there was a sudden lightning, and she is able to recognize that she is alone in the haunted hill. And now the night has come out. Then I won't get home before the storm breaks, thought Usha. I will have to shelter in the ruins. She could only see a few feet ahead, but she knew the path well, and she began to run. So she is thinking to herself, she thought to herself that I cannot go home before the night falls, so I must rush up to my home before it gets heavy rain. So she is running as much speed she can go. Okay. Suddenly the wind sprang up again and brought the rain with a rush against her face. It was cold, stinging rain. She could hardly keep her eyes open. So since she is very aware of the place, even it is night, she is able to cross the buildings and tall trees, everything. She is able to cross herself and go. And now it has started a heavy rain now. The speed of the wind is very high. It is very hard for her to even to keep her eyes open. The wind grew in force. It hummed and whistled. Usha did not have to fight against it. It was behind her now and held her along up the steep path and to the brow of the hill. So now it is out of her limit. She is not able to manage that speed of the storm and the thundering lightning sound. So it is more than her limit. So she stopped over there, and she started finding herself where is the shelter, and so that she can go and take shelter over there, rest over there, where in the haunted hill, that is in the ruins. There was another flash of lightning followed by a pearl of thunder. The ruins looked up before her, grim and forbidding. Grim in the sense unpleasant, and forbidding, frightening. So it is somewhat, she is alone, and then she is very aware of it, where she is standing in the haunted hill, and who will be present over there. It's a frightening place, is it? So she is standing with an unpleasant and frightening mood. She knew there was a corner where a piece of old roof remained. It would give some shelter. It would be better than trying to go on in the dark, in the hollowing wind. She had only to stay off the path to go over a rocky cliff edge. So after she crosses this haunted hill, there is a rocky cliff which is not possible to walk in the night time. So she planned herself to take rest in the ruins, and she finds a small shelter in the corner where a piece of old roof remained there. So she went there and she took rest over there. Again there is a speed of wind. Again there is a blow of wind there. Hoo, 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 called the wind. She saw the wind. She saw the wide plum tree swaying, bent double, its foliage crashing against the ground. The broken walls did little to stop the wind. So where she was standing, I told you she was standing in the corner where there is a small shelter over there. In that place, there is a wide plum tree, okay, which is bending to its double. Normally when the wind blows, the trees will bend, is it? During that time, since there is a blow of the wind is very high, it is bending to its double, and the foliage crashing in the sense, hitting leaves and branches. She knew there was a corner where a piece of old roof remained. It would give some shelter. It would be better than trying to go on in the dark, in the hollowing wind. She had had only to stray off the path to go over a rocky cliff edge. Hoo, howled the wind. She saw the wild plum tree swaying, bent double, its foliage thrashing against the ground. The broken walls did little to stop the wind. So I told you she has taken a shelter in the corner of the old roof, and there she finds a plum tree, wild plum tree, which bends to its double. Normally when we have a blow of wind, the trees used to bend, but that moment it was double bent and hitting the leaves and branches, and actually the force of the wind has been blocked by this tree, and then with the help of little walls, where she is standing near to her, broken walls were there. So it is all stopping, making herself feel safe, secure, because feeling herself secure from the blow of the wind. Okay. Usha found her way into the ruined building, helped by her memory of the place and constant flicker of lightning. She began moving along the wall, hoping to reach the sheltered corner. She placed her hands against the stone and moved sideways. Her hands touched something soft and furry. She gave a startled cry and looked her hands away. Her cry was answered by another cry, half snarl, half screech, and something leapt away in the darkness. So now she is moving in the corner of the wall. I told you, broken wall is there, wild plum tree is there, which prevents the blow of the wind, and she is slightly walking by keeping in the hands. Since it is a dark time, she cannot see, is it so? So by keeping hands, she is going on moving. Suddenly, she kept hands on a furry, that is, it is a very soft and furry thing. Suddenly, she kept hands there and she got scared. She got panic and she gave a nice, that is, a sound, cry sound she gave. And she received one more sound from other side. And actually she received one more sound, one more cry sound from the other side. She got little more panic. Who is that shouting there? See, who is that? We'll see now. It was only a wild cat. Usha realized this when she heard it. The cat lived in the ruins and she had often seen it. But for a moment, she had been very frightened. Now she moved quickly along the wall until she heard the rain drumming on the remnant in the sense what was left of a thin roof. So I told you, she has touched a soft and furry thing, that is nothing but a wild cat. She has seen that wild cat regularly when she goes to the bazaar and come back to her home, and now she is okay, satisfied. Okay, it's a wild cat, only I should not get frightened there. And when the raindrops fall on the roof, that is fall on the thin roof, we get a sound, is it? That sound is very heavy, but even though she is a little bit frightened there. Once under it, crouching in the corner, crouching in the sense bending down, crouching, bending down. In the corner, she found some shelter from the wind and the rain. Above her, the thin sheet ground and clattered in the sense banged together, made a loud noise as if they would sail away at any moment, but they were held down by a solid branch of straggling old oak tree. So now she came to the corner and there is a thin roof, I told you. She sat over there, and when the raindrops fall on it, there is a bang sound over there, and that sound tells us when that thin roof will flew away and grow. But that thin roof has been held by a tree. What tree is that? Old oak tree. Usha remembered that across this empty room stood an old fireplace, and that there might be some shelter under the blocked chimney. Perhaps it would be drier than it was in her corner, but she would not attempt to find it just now. She might lose her way altogether. So she is able to remember herself near the place where she is standing. Near to that there is a fireplace where she can take more shelter from the rain and from the storm. But if she go till inside of that ruins, she will miss her way. So she didn't plan to go to the fireplace, and she is standing under the tin roof. Her clothes were soaked and water streamed down from a long black hair from the puddle at her feet. Actually, puddle in the sense pool of water. And she has completely soaked now, and water is running from a black hair, and where she is standing, it's like a pool of water. Full, completely water is there. She stamped her feet to keep them warm. She thought she heard a faint cry. Was it the cat again? Or an owl? But the sound of a storm blotted out, hid out all other sound. So she is able to hear the some fainting. Fainting means from frightening sound. We'll get frightened, no? Like the faint means when the people is about to faint and fall. That sound, like suddenly scaring sound, she is able to recognize that. But she wants to avoid all that sound. So she made herself aware. I am safe here. I do not want to worry about anything. There had been no time of think of ghost, but now that she was in one place without any plan of venturing out again, venturing in the sense proceed out in dangerous place, she remembered grandfather's story about the lightning blasted ruins. She hoped and prayed that the lightning would not strike her, and she sheltered there. So she is somewhat brave, is it? Usha is really, she is a brave girl and she is standing over there. And in one moment, she remembered the grandfather's story. I told you already, is it? Grandfather's story. Once the English people used to live there because of lightning, old house was burst out and all the people who were there, they were killed. Even the children were also killed. So she is able to recollect all this story and she is praying to God that lightning should not strike her out. Okay, thunder boomed over the hills and the lightning came quicker now. Only a few seconds between each burst of lightning. So within a seconds, there is a repeated of lightning and thunder. There was a bigger flash than most, and for a second or two, the entire room was lit up. A strike of blue sizzled. Strike in the sense a line of blue sizzled, hissed like something hit on a firing pan. Along the floor of the building, it in at one end and out at the other. Usha was staring straight ahead. As the opposite wall was lit up, she saw crouching in a disused fireplace two small figures. They could only have been children. So I told you there is a repeated thunder and lightning. With one, when it was a sudden lightning, whole ruin, whole that haunted it is getting lighted. So there she saw near the fireplace that two children were sitting over there. In the lighting, again it is getting dark. So what will happen there? Think of the ghostly figure looked up, staring back at Usha, and then everything was dark again. So the two children, the two figures are staring, looking like this at Usha. So she is what you people will do when this incident happens with you, ma'am? I hope you people have given the answers there. Okay. Now we will see in section 3. Before I start section 3, we will see, do you know, we will read that. The Bermuda Triangle is one of the greatest unsolved mysterious spot in the world. It is a triangular shaped area in the North Atlantic Ocean. Hundreds of people and numerous boats, ships and planes have disappeared inside this triangle. The reason for this disappearance still remains a mystery. Okay, so there is a place where it is in North Atlantic Ocean, a place called Bermuda Triangle, which remains a mysterious part where many ships, planes, boat has got disappeared. So still it remains a mystery. Don't know why it is getting seeming off over there. Okay, ma'am, now we'll see the lesson now. Section 3. Usha's heart was in her mouth. She had seen without a shadow of doubt two ghostly creatures at the other side of the room, and she wasn't going to remain in that ruined building a moment longer. Immediately when she had seen that two scary creatures, two ghostly creatures who will stay in the place, so she too started running from that place, and within a minute she started running from the place. She ran out of a corner, ran towards a big gap in the wall through which she had entered. She was halfway across the open space when someone fell against her. So she came out of that, and where she found a very big hole that is as a wall, and she came out from the place, and she is running fast and coming. She stumbled. She hit someone and she started stumbled. Stumbled in the sense lost one's balance. Stumbled. Okay, she lost balance, and why? Because she has hit one person. Who is that person? got up, again bumped into something. She gave a frightening scream immediately when she hit up, when she stumbled and once again she bumped into something. She got hit with something. And immediately she gave a frightening scream. How you people will shout ah in such a way? There was a sound over there, frightening scream. Someone else screamed, and then there was a shout, a boy's shout, and Usha instantly recognized the voice. So by repeating this voice, there was one more voice, and she is able to recognize that voice is the boy's voice, who is nothing but her brother Suresh. So she has recognized the voice, and it is Suresh voice. Suresh, Usha, Binya, it's me, it's us. So all who are all there now? Usha is there, Suresh is there, Binya is there, and all three were there. They fell into each other's arms, so surprised and relieved that all they could do was laugh and giggle and repeat each other's name. So it is very dark, the place is in the hill, so definitely there will be an echo. So they fell into each other's arms, they hugged each other, and they laughed at each other. Giggle means laugh lightly, giggling. So everything is, now her mood has been changed from the frightening mood, from the panic mood, she has relaxed somewhat now. Even we too know, when we imagine yourself, when you stop at this place, what you will do? Immediately that's how you faint and fall. Not even running against this girl, she gave a run from there. We will definitely fall there itself, is it? Then Usha said, I thought you were a ghost. We thought you were a ghost, said Usha. Said Suresh. Come back under the roof, said Usha. They huddled in the sense, they crowded together in the corner, chattering excitedly. Excited in the sense, feeling great eagerness. So they all again went back to that under the tin roof, and they crowded over there. When it grew dark, we came looking for you, said Binya. And then the storm broke. Shall we run back together? Asked Usha. So Usha, she is aware of it, because what is there she knows. Usha knows all it because she has seen the two ghostly creatures. These two children, they came now only. So they are not aware of it. So she is saying, shall we run back again to our village? See what is the reply she is getting. I don't want to stay here any longer. Who is saying? Usha is saying. Well, we have to wait, said Binya. The path has fallen away at one place. It won't be safe in the dark in all this rain. I told you, Nama, after this mountain there is a rocky cliff, and it is not safe during this rain and this storm in the night time. So that it's better to be staying safe over here, where in the ruins under the old tin roof. Then we may have to wait till morning, said Suresh, and I am feeling hungry. So Suresh is feeling hungry, and we have to stay here till morning. Suresh is asking question to her sisters. Her sister, and she is, Binya is a neighbor. The wind and rain continued, and so did the thunder and lightning. So wind is there, rain is there, along with the lightning and thundering. But they were not afraid now. So now they are alright, they are not afraid now. They gave each other warmth and confidence, even when the ruins did not seem so forbidding. For instance, it's not looking frightening now. So now they were all alright, they came to the good mood, and that place is not looking frightened now. After an hour, the rain stopped, and altogether the wind continued to blow. It was now taking the clouds away, so that the thunder grew more distant. Then the wind too moved on, and all was silent. Towards dawn in the sense sunrise, the whistling thrush bird, you remember in the section 1 we read, began to sing. Its sweet broken notes flooded the rain, washed the ruins with music. So after an hour, rain has got stopped, and wind, it continued to, rain has stopped, but there was, I told you, no more wind, even it is the sunny season or winter season, there is a blow of wind continues over there. So wind continued to blow, and the clouds have taken out, and thunder also it has moved. Then the wind too, then there was wind, the speed, actually it was very high speed of the wind, now it has come to one level. And morning sunrise also started, and this our bird, it came to sing a song over there. See, they give a song of like that. So it has come now. Let's go, said Usha. So Usha is rushing up to home, and she is saying, let's go. Come on, said Suresh, I am hungry. I told you her this who is this? Suresh is also feeling very hungry. As it grew lighter, they saw that a plum tree stood upright again, although it had lost all its blossoms. Blossom means flowers. So I told you, Numa, in the night time, because of the speed of the wind, the wild plum tree bends double. Now it has come straight, but it has lost its blossom. It has lost all its flowers over there. They stood outside the ruin. So they came outside the ruin, outside that collapsed building, on the brow of the hill, watching the sky grow pink. A light breeze had sprung up. When they were some distance from the ruin, Usha looked back and said, "Can you see something there behind the wall? It's like a hand waving." So after moving out from that collapsed buildings, that is after coming out from the ruins, she reached to some distance. From there, she looked back again to that ruins, and she is able to see two creatures waving hands at her. "I can't see anything," said Suresh. So Suresh is saying, "I can't see anything. It's just a top of a plum tree," said Binay. Binay is saying, "It is the top of a plum tree. Plum tree is moving here and there. It is not someone is waving hands on you." They were on the path leading across the saddle of the hill. "Goodbye, goodbye," voice on the wind. "Who said goodbye?" asked Usha. So Usha is able to hear the voice, "Goodbye, goodbye," and she is consoling herself. It is the voice of the wind, not the voice of any other person. So now, "Not I," said Suresh. "Not I," said Binay. "I heard someone calling. It's only the wind." Usha looked back at the ruins. The sun had come up and was touching the top of the walls. The leaves of plum tree shone. The thrush stared there singing. So everything is normal now, and bird also came there for singing the song. "Come on," said Suresh. "I am hungry." "Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye, goodbye." Usha heard them calling, or was it just a wind? So they are giving you a question mark. It is just a wind, or it must be a voice of some creatures. Okay, so she is not able to conclude herself. What is it clearly? Okay, for your opinion, what is it? You please write in the home notebook and send me. Let me check. Okay, children. Now we will go with the book exercise. Children, I hope you people have got your textbook from the office room. Children, I'm very damn sure that this year in the 7th standard, your textbook is really very good with a lot of exercise, book exercise and fun with English. So make sure that you are getting your textbook from the office room. Okay, we'll see the book exercise now, which is in the page number 119. Choose the best answer. First answer: the wind hurried and passed through the apples and mangoes, pines and deodars, berries and cherries. Your answer is pines and deodars. Let me tell you only the answers. The market was 3 miles away from the village. Answer A. Second answer A, 3 miles. Usha went to visit her aunt's house. Answer B, aunt's house, after shopping in the market. Fourth answer, Usha took shelter in the ruins. A, ruins. At dawn, the dash began to sing. The thrush began to sing. Now question answers, I'll send you to the PDF through PDF in WhatsApp. Make sure that you are writing your classwork. I hope your people have started writing your classwork. Since I have sent you in the last class, I asked you to write the hard words and then glossary. Following to that, we will write the question answers. In section 1 already we have got 4 question answers, and then along with this you will continue with these question answers. Okay, I will send you these answers through PDF. Okay, next children, in the page number 120 you will find the vocabulary, that is book exercise D and E. Unscramble the words and detective's dictionary. Both you will write the answers in the textbook. Along with that, you will write these answers in your homework notebook also. So your homework notebook is 120 pages rule round notebook. Take that and start writing this. Last class I gave you a homework. Do you remember family tree? I hope you have done it. Along with this, please complete this D and E and submit your classwork and homework by next week.